Hello and welcome to Fedmail. Thank you for joining us once again this week. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're doing well, feeling healthy and in good spirits, and I hope you're taking the necessary precautions to remain healthy, keep your loved ones healthy, and to keep our community healthy and back to normal. This being the 1-year anniversary of the pandemic, we thought we'd include something special in this edition of Fedmail, and we are including a podcast from Dan Sinor. He is the co-author of the book Startup Nation, the story of Israel's high-tech sector. He does a podcast, and he talked about Israel's efforts and successes as far as the coronavirus pandemic is concerned, the vaccine rollout, and all of that. You should check it out. Thank you to Rob Adler, a community leader who suggested including that in Fedmail. And of course, I also wanted to mention the tragedy that took place in Atlanta earlier this week. Jewish Federation and I personally condemn that type of violence, particularly if it's based on ethnic or racial hatred. This was just a terrible moment. Yet again, another horrific, violent act that took place on our soil. As Americans, we're certainly better than this, and all of us should come together to condemn this type of hatred, this type of violence, and tragedies of these kinds need to be stopped. We all need to be united in our front against this, particularly the Jewish community, being that we have so many times been targeted ourselves. We must stand united and also continue to be vigilant and protect ourselves as Jews, because as we've seen this past year, the number of anti-Semitic incidents and violence against our own people is also on the rise. So these types of things are just another reminder of the work that continues to need to be, the work that we continue to need to do to both protect ourselves and to better our country and our society. So you can see in Fedmail there is a clip from the JTA with news and statements from different Jewish organizations around the country as it relates to the violence that took place in Atlanta. I encourage you to look at that. I also want to bring to your attention that former Federation Assistant Director Howard Silver, who many of you know and had a close relationship with, passed away earlier this month. We've included his obituary in this edition of Fedmail as well, and we plan to dedicate a future lead program in his memory. Of course, there are a number of activities and programs taking place in the community, and with Passover right around the corner, coming very soon, it's important to sell your chametz. There are, of course, many options in the community for doing so, but we have included a link. You can do that via Fedmail. Just click on it, sell your chametz, good to go. Important part of observing Pesach. Also, our Stock the Shelves program continues. That is a coordinated effort among several organizations in the community, PJ Library, Rachel's Table, and others, to ensure that food insecurity is being addressed in the community. You can contribute to those efforts by clicking on the link. I also want to remind you, of course, that the Neumann exhibit at the Worcester Art Museum is opening soon. That is the very special exhibit bringing the art and collection of an Austrian Jewish family. The last name, of course, was Neumann. They collected old world masters, and their collection had been liquidated during the Anschluss, during the annexation of Austria, during the Nazi era, and painstakingly brought back together and is now going to be on exhibit right here in Worcester at the Art Museum for about a year. And Jewish Federation is one of the sponsors of that exhibit, and I know there are several community members who are also contributing to those efforts, along with the Strassler Center at Clark University. So we look forward to coordinating some programs with them, and we'll let you know when those are scheduled. I also want to bring your attention again to the fact that very exciting news, that we will have a shaliach in the community next year. We are looking for an apartment for this person. So if you are a property owner and you are willing to perhaps give Federation a good deal on that, we would be very grateful. Please let us know if you have something available or you know of someone who might. For the young people in the community, for our students, I want to remind you once again that the art and essay contest associated with Yom HaShoah, sponsored by B'nai B'rith, which this year has even better prizes than in the past, is taking place. So get your entries in. And this year's topic is the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, which of course is just a a tremendous moment of Jewish bravery in the face of total annihilation during the war. And it's an important piece of our history and something that we hope the students will find interesting ways to put into art and essay or poetry form. So we're looking for those entries. Make sure to check that out. Also from B'nai B'rith, the Queen Esther Scholarship. Those forms are available. You can check that out just by using the link in Fedmail. And Yom HaShoah, going back to the Yom HaShoah program, that is taking place on April 7th. That will be virtual, where there will be readings and prayer, candlelighting, music. That's always also an important moment for our community to come together in observance of Yom HaShoah, Holocaust remembrance. More important than ever, too, as our survivors are getting older, passing away. It's incumbent upon us to continue to tell their stories and ensure that their legacy is not lost. Another event that's coming up, we have the stars of the hit Israeli TV show Fauda. All of our SNEC, our neighboring federations, are coming together to put that program on. That's virtual. You can look for the flyer in there. There are a ton of events for young adults coming up. That's our Yad division. You can find those. And for our future young adults, PJ Library has a lot of programs in store. You can just scroll down to the part in Fedmail that says Yad or PJ. So if you're a family with young kids, check that out. If you're a grandparent, tell your kids, tell your grandkids, make sure they're involved. It's especially important. We have a lot of young families in the community. You may not know that, but we certainly do, and we welcome them. We want them to be involved, and the opportunities are endless for them. Okay, some events taking place this coming week on March 21st. There is a program called Getting Good at Getting Older, and I think this is aimed at the baby boomer crowd. Rabbi Laura Geller is putting that one, going to be hosting that program. That looks very nice, and you don't want to miss it. On March 22nd, Jewish Book Month has a special event. Be sure to see that. And our friends at American Friends of Kaplan Medical Center, they are putting on an event on Wednesday, March 24th. And they've brought together different Jewish leaders who had experiences in Egypt, either growing up there or who spent time there, talking about their own personal exodus and talking about the history of the Jewish community there. So check that out. And then Hadassah on April 25th. Now this is a little further in the future. They have brought in award-winning cartoonist Hilary Price. This sounds really nice, and she will be giving a presentation. You can look at the flyer for that, and that's brought to us by Hadassah. So hello to all of our friends at Hadassah and all of our friends out in the community. Hope you're all doing well, getting ready for Passover. We are getting ready for the Passover Seder in a Box and food distribution drive-through. Always really exciting. A ton of interest in that in the community this year. Just like last year, if you are able to make a donation to that program, please consider doing so. That would be a big help to us. Again, just hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for all of your support. I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.